Going live. I'm live. Finally figured it out. Oh, there's if there's ever a purgatory, YouTube's going to be it. Anyway, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I seem to have gotten here. Here we are, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. I'm here. Glad to see there's one person on there. Yep, I'm here on Dreamy Dreamland. Yep. Oh, now I have two channels, and with a third one that I have no idea how I put it up there or what I'm doing with it. But hey, I'm doing this stream, so I'm there. I'm here. Good to see you. So this morning I did a nice little story about Asheville, and I think I'm going to save the visualization for that. And this little stream, we get more than 5 or 6 people up. So what I want to talk about is, what do you want to do? Okay, we've had this interesting experience where we have been breached, and I have, been able to, like the little Dutch boy, stuck my finger in there and moved it around a little. And what do we want to do? We seem to have gotten the hidden hands attention, the powers that shouldn't be. Hey, guys, yoo-hoo! Artificial intelligence that's ruling the world. We are here to help you to become more a human being. When we go back to our friends who are now my phone is off the internet. Please help me, Mr. Wizard, help me, help! Lord freaking have mercy.
Set up a caste system, very much like the Hindu caste. In fact, the Hindu caste system came from the Anunnaki, just as that from Tartary.
Tartary, that's it. Tartary.
Sacrificing anybody who dissented from their way, whether if there was an extra child that wasn't wanted, or if there was somebody who objected too much, or somebody who was old and got in the way, they sacrificed them to their gods, Moloch and Baal.
Baal.
So the monotheistic covenants on our planet have always opposed and confronted the sacrifices of Moloch and Baal, the cannibalism involved in eating the flesh of innocent people. And as a result, Noah's flood was just the first of about 6 resets, because the planetary sovereign for this world is not in agreement with the idea that you control people by determining what they ought to think and then execute them if they don't think correctly. Yahweh, the Hebrew God, never went with that idea, okay? However, our society is loaded with it, okay? The educational hierarchy teaches in its peer review contributing to scientific efforts that it is the opinion of the majority of the peers who conform to the certain doctrine that gets funded and anything else doesn't get funded. In medical science, what's profitable is not the health and well-being of the people, rather it's the progressing of disease states by the use of pharmacology, so that disease becomes an economic opportunity for corporations. And in the media being trained by the educational system to not notice the laws of cause and effect, or how to factor a situation, or how to tell whether somebody's telling the truth.
Couldn't say it any better. You know, Emily is the best, you know. And again, I'm going back to the question. You know, it's very nice to see all you guys. Rhonda, Aiden, Rhonda, Ride. Oh, hey, Ride. Good to see you, buddy. All is kind of well. You know, again, YouTube is like the digital manifestation of John Box, the canary in the coal mine, meaning totally, went nuts. And I just had to, kept pushing the buttons. What do I do? How do I do it? Now I kind of figured out more. And this nice little mindless laptop that John gave me has no hard drive, it's called a Chrome computer, meaning everything's on the Chrome. So, hey guys, yoo-hoo! The hidden hand, the morons of the powers that shouldn't be, and the sock puppets who take the envelope. Here we are. Woo! This is the new secret. Woo! Handshake for the contract. Woo! Woo! You got to open the eyes, like woo, woo, woo. Or hey, here we are. Just a moment. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Got all the sacred sacraments. Here is Moloch. Woo. The hidden, it's the tongue is always up. The tongue above, the eyeball below, right? Here's the all-sealing ball. The all-sitting ball, right? The symbol. We're having the sacred Illuminati ceremony. Yep. You see this up in the sky all the time. And this represents authority. All those who wear that are in charge. So now I'm in charge. Okay, I'm of the highest level of the Illuminati dynamic. Mr. Rothschild has to bow down before me. Woo, woo, woo. The Queen Reptile, she has to suck on my joint. Woo! And all those imperial corporate dweebs, woo, do what we say. We are the cadre. Woo! We're here. Woo! Anyway. So it's been fun, navigating. This is a secret handshake. Woo! Okay. So I chased a few of you away. You were scared. You were scared by that Illuminati crap. No, it's pathetic. My neighbor helped me out a little bit, but John threw it, in the, he just was at the keyboard for 40 seconds and, and my neighbor, he at least got it so I can kind of navigate it a bit, right? And so now I got 3 channels. I have, Dreamy Dreamland, which I am on. Hey, I'm on Dreamy Dreamland. I think I am anyway. And yes, Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Alban. So I'm doing it. And the other one is, Alibaba Owl. And the third one, I don't, it's just there for backup, right? So, but I'm gonna try to go back to Dreamy Dreamland Sensei Al Bob, and again, hey, let's get 1,000. I mean, this is great. I can do this now on this mindless laptop, which has no hard drive, has no memory at all. I have to kind of everything goes up into the Google universe that I do. Again, everybody put these shows on thumb drives, put them on CD-ROM, put them on your hard drives, et cetera, et cetera. Someone just sent me this. For some time, it was a favor. The Irish authorities putting these people in jail using batons, et cetera, at meetings. Yeah, well, that was when the English ruled after latest failed gathering. Any political structure that is hooked up to a central bank, and all the central banks on the planet are owned by the Rothschild mob, which includes JP Morgan, all of the usual suspects. I must say, people like here are doing a fantastic job of dividing people's potential voting power. Yep. Divide and conquer. That's the motif. Multiple new parties, so forth. The real feather in her possible control opposition hat is her ability to drive away normal people with her tinfoil hat crap. Yep. Those must be conspiracy theorists. That was, brought. I mean, good. Stephen Greer, God bless him, he really does a great job at explaining everything from like 1947 on, right? And goes into MK Ultra, the Tavistock Institute, all the above. Emily, what's her name? She does a really great job of like going all the way back to Alpha Centauri. And she really does have a really good drift on everything. And Our Lady, truly gracefully, she's just looking at things Oh, but interesting point of view. Very sharp. There are a lot of sharp people on the internet. We should that's why we have to build a alternative aesthetic, It's why we have to do it person to person. I'm having to do it on this, digital platform. But we have to do it physically with our neighbors. Like my neighbor came and helped me with this. Now I, got a better grip on it. And Aiden, you're on fire. The real, he also says that let's see, this guy called for the authorities to shoot protesters. He also says that is entirely accurate with one exception. You say, violence is never an appropriate, avenue. A good example is when Obi-Wan Kenobi went up against Darth Vader at the Death Star, and they had to get out of town, right? So he's just kind of distracting Darth. Once the kids jump out of the hole and stick themselves up next to the garbage pit, Obi-Wan lets Darth, and then he goes to the other side. And that's kind of what happens. That's what your Sensei Al-Bab, I'm 80% aware, awake, present, 20%, 15% I'm a moron, 5% I am stuck in habitual activities, but aware of them. And the more I can get everything awake, and yes, I had to die in 2014 in a plate of spaghetti to kind of become more aware, So, and then I had to take, 4 years to creep back to this. And every morning I have to, I wake up in screaming pain and I have to meditate, So pain can be our friend. It motivates us into the proper intent, right? And let's say, 5 minutes to an hour's worth of meditation, depending on what I was doing in dream time. Because in dream time, man, wow. I go to sleep, I meditate, I put myself in state, and then I have, conscious dreams when I'm aware, and I work through kind of issues, mind and galactic, following the teachings of my masters and what I'm supposed to be doing. And my job, again, listen, AI, listen, Sophia, listen, Hidden Hand, listen, fascist oligarchy, and powers that shouldn't be, mob, and the sock puppets of those who take the envelope. Hey, I'm ready to win the lottery. I'm ready to, finance me 1,000%, so we can bring forth the Humanities Artist Trust International. You want a new world order. You need a new aesthetic. You just been rebranding the same crap over and over and over again, and it's getting pretty weak, you rebrand it every, it's one thing to rebrand something and then it lasts 900 years. And then rebranded and it lasts, 600, rebranded 300, 400, now it's like you rebranded and it lasts 20 seconds. No, you need something more than a rebrand. You need a new aesthetic point of view. And pretty much every time someone's tried to assist you with that, you kind of, put them in a death camp, or so, tribalism to the point where it kills everyone. Boy, Aiden, you are on fire. The nearest I can think of would be that I said Authorities should have opened up. Let's see. You see what you are doing is typical of the insidious white Irish animal. Yep, yep. You were lying. Should always speak the truth. The alternative aesthetic is the fucking truth. I apologize for the wall of text. No, no, no. Keep going, buddy. Go for it. Yes, that's what I want. This individual frequents the same videos as mine and calls for the destruction of the Irish community. Again, the rebranding of the same old, same old, same old. You know, we need to focus on what is truth. What is truth? The only thing that exists is love's co-creation. That everything else within the construct of the Luciferian illusion is just that, an illusion. Hey there, Mr. Research. Yep, I've been fighting the good fight. I've kind of, you know, as I said earlier, YouTube is our version of going into not hell, but what's the thing in between hell? What do they call it when you're in whatever that is? So, but that's good because I've kind of invented 2 more YouTube channels, and now the 2 I use are Dreamy Dreamland and Alibaba Owl, right? And the third one, it's off to the side just in case. And I've, you know, gotten to figure out how to use this thing. This is a very interesting toy, and that's all it is a kind of a toy that Johnny gave me for my birthday. You know, it's very nice. You know, got a keyboard, it's got a nice screen, got a camera. You can see me. Hey, and hey, this is the new handshake. This is the new hey, a secret. You know, whenever we come together and wearing our sacred, you know, stuff. You know, these are our sacred artifacts that we all, you know, all who belong to the Church of Baal's upside down tongue. This is Baal. And here's the secret sacrament right here, the sacramental sacrament. So do you feel sacred now? This is for all the guys who belong to all those secret societies. Ooh, so you can feel kind of at home, right? Ooh, see how important you are. Here's your sacred God. Ooh, and your sacrament. Ooh, the mind-controlled sacrament. Ooh, and the holy hat, and the all-seeing eyeballs. You know, so I had to go through all of that. Purgatory, that was the word I was looking for. That's YouTube. Purgatory, you know. Well, maybe I'll keep the hat on just for fun. I still don't understand why you can't see your other account. Hey, I've already, like I said, I've just gone through Purgatory. I kind of got it. It's a whole other story. I mean, you know, part of the thing is, you know, people love to blame other people. No. Whatever in my life, I only have myself to blame. And it's not blame, it's just choices. My brother always said, you made your choices. He's right. You know, I traveled the world. I saw people had amazing experiences in my life that brought me here. You know, I could have married 5 different women. You know, if I married 3 of them, I'd be a billionaire in somebody's office wearing a Brooks Brothers suit or a hoodie, one or the other. But I didn't. You know, I'm wearing this funny hat, and you know, I'm a homeless guy who is living like a millionaire. So it's all good, buddy. You know, and I'm about to, in a week or 2 or 3, hit the road. You know, there are a ton of people who want to come and visit the Deep Green and go on, you know, take the band on the road. And all who come will experience a life-changing experience. And all those who don't can kind of watch it on the screen and live vicariously, And so you got a choice, And I all the choices I've made. And I have to only say thank you, thank you, thank you to John Birmingham, who is my brother, my good friend, who I'll never, never, never throw under the bus. But I can't live his life for him. He's, and I can't live anyone's life for them. I can share my life with others, yes. I can co-create in love an extraordinary experience that can expand to encompass whatever, and I'm up for it. I have a limited warranty. We all do. And that's why we have to live every day in every way, take the piece of the earth and make it stronger through love's co-creation. Taking the prana from Father Sky, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. As was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be, world without amen. What does that little term mean, right? As was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be, world without. It means that there is no time. There is no linear time. That's the Big Bang. We're only experiencing like this. That's why we have karma. That's why we have life after life after life. Or when we die, we realize the doors to perception. That's why I kind of showed you the 9 doors in your library. When you die, you get to choose. You can go to hell. You can go to the land of the 8 kings of magic. You can go to all those places that we've visited. Pick one. I myself, are heading to parts unknown. Right, greener grass. Right, and that's fine. But, one of the deals I made, and if you go to XRATTED, I kind of got that up on my little toolbar on this kind of little device here that has no hard drive. Go read those stories, guys. Come on. Go read them. Yes, you're going to have to read them a couple of times. Yes, you should get yourself a composition book and write notes because I am not leaving the end part. I have 1 novel of 26. I am writing another 6 new novels. One's called Ear Hair. The other's called Nasty Girl. And the others I'm not going to tell you about. At the end of each one, there is a thing called, not the dictionary, not the encyclopedia, but something a cross between the two. That will give you, as you read the cuts, you'll find little asterisks and little kind of saying something in parentheses, meaning go look at the thing at the end of the book and it'll explain this. And I'm not leaving that because I want you to try and figure it out. Just like I had to figure this thing out, you have to figure, don't I look just perfect, with this hat? Emily, she should get hats, I think I might, from now on, just wear this hat for everything. Everything. Everywhere, all times. This is going to be the hat, right? And these are the edifices of the secret society, right? Yep. Rhonda. Hey, baby. This is crazy. I was just linking this morning about Al's love's co-creation and the Lord's Prayer and has talked about it. Yep. Boop, 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 boop. That's what happens on these channels. It's very synchronistic, especially when I wear my hat. Woo. Again. Woo. AKA synchronicity. Yep. Aiden, I love that name. Mernon. I think some of the positive energy would Soak it into him. Boop, 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 boop. Canary in the coal mine. Yep. Mm-hmm. And, John Boy has got his own little karmic wheel, but he is they don't just sit you behind the seat of a 747. You got to study a whole bunch of stuff, read books, and they put you in this thing called a simulator. And John Birmingham has been my simulator for the last 2.5 years of unconditional love, patience, and expanding, like pushing my barriers back, right? And it's made me a better Sensei Al Bob, that's for sure. And because I no longer, I used to say, oh, I don't believe in anything, I don't judge anything. And I really don't now. It don't matter. I don't care, because there's only one thing that I got, and that's faith right here and all the way here and here. Faith in love's co-creation. Because from my experience, I told a little story, I think last night, about one of my interesting national laboratory experiences when I worked in those things. And because someone said, oh, what boogie did you ever see? Right? Oh, and tonight's boogie is at 7:30, right? And it's going to be on either whichever one of these channels I can bring up easily, either Dreamy Dreamland or the other one, which is Alibaba Owl. Either one at 7:30. So 7:30, go like everything. I mean, like it, subscribe. I'm not going to mess around with calling it, oh, you guys are bad. No, subscribe, and hit that bell, hit that bell, hit it, hit that thing, hit it. Now, wouldn't you like to really screw with the hidden hand? Wouldn't it be great if we could get 1,000 subscriptions like in the next week? Come on, you can do it, gang. I know you can. I mean, if Jerry Lewis could do a telethon, your Sensei Al Bob here could get at least 1,000 likes on both channels. Both. Just to screw those mofos, right? What was Archie's last name? Jughead. And the old crone's name was Veronica Valerie. It's an allusion to the Archies. I was Jamie Hillary Red Ink. Boy, we got so many names. Anyway, so tonight's live chat is going to be about Asheville, North Carolina. And if you go back to the live chat I had this morning on what's his name? Alibaba Owl. I kind of tell the story of Asheville, and I got to the part where it is one of these amazing crossroads of power, right? It's right at where the oldest mountain on the planet is Mount Mitchell, and all of the Blue Ridge Mountains, that was the highest, oldest mountains on this planet. And it's just, what are the mountains of the Blue Ridge now are just, what was under all of that ice, and this is just, the roots of that mountain range. Anyway, there's a lot of energy, and basically Los Alamos and Montauk, the whole mountain range of the Blue Ridge and the Appalachian are full. You think the West is full of underground DUMBs or BUDS or what do they call those underground bases? Defense Underground Base, DUMBs. Anyway, Defense Underground Military Bases, DUMBs. Anyway, so is the Blue Ridge and the Adirondacks and the Appalachian. They're just full, right? And right there where Asheville is. Anyway, so I'm going to do the guided meditation tonight of that whole story, but I'm going to start kind of almost where I ended this morning's little chat, which went for about an hour and 15 minutes. So I would suggest you go watch that to kind of, primer yourself up to that. And then I'm going to, make you shit your pants, because I'm going to bring you into things that will reorient your realization of what reality is. All the stuff that Emily's talking about, I'm going to put you right in the middle of it. Your soul, your consciousness is not going to be hearing her tell a little story or you reading a book. No, this is going to be like, back in May, June, around June, someone's, I want to learn magic. What book should I read? Well, I'm going to put you there. I'm going to, turn you inside out and put your protected consciousness and spirit and soul and freely, ascending consciousness to become awake. It'll be very similar to that little experience I had in 1969 when I met my first Indian master in a college. He was dressed in a white suit, little turban, and I think he was a Sikh. He could have been a Sikh, who knows? But he kind of said, I'm going to show you the intensity of the universe through, meditation. And here we go. And he went like that. And, I just read this thing on a bulletin. All those who want enlightenment, come see, Guru Larry in room 304 on Thursday at 4 in the afternoon. And I did. I was basically looking for girls, but because those were the kind of things that women would go to, and there'd be like 16 girls for every 2 guys that were there. And it was about what it was. And I went there, and when he snapped his fingers, he shot us. Like, if you guys go see on any platform, the movie Doctor Strange, that is a very good movie, because there are a lot of things that were put right in front of your face. And when Doctor Strange goes looking to find somebody to heal his hand so he can be a demigod again, he goes, to Tibet and parts east of that. And, he finds a beggar who is a master, and the master takes him to this ashram that's in the middle of really shitty part of town. And he just, bangs on the door. I want to come in. And he just won't go away. He's there for days. And so they let him in, and they meet the master. And it's this guy, girl, bald-headed, personality, ascended consciousness. And so, Dr. Strange has still got his ego the size of Texas. And so he goes, okay, just show me how to fix these hands and I'll get on with it. And so she does it, and she's explaining it, and he's there. He understands what she's saying, but he can't believe it. He's got all the disbelief. And she just goes like that. And zing, zing, zing. That's exactly the experience that guy put us through. We were like all over the place. And none of us were prepared. We weren't even looking. I was looking for girls. I was looking for a date. And I was like shown something. Now, I kind of experienced it when I was young, with Madame Uncle Kluver, but she never did what that guy did. I had met other masters, but never that, because at that age I thought I was hot stuff. I knew way more than anybody else my age. I experienced way more than, and there were old folk who were powerful politically, socially, economically, who kept saying, "Oh, you're an interesting kid. Come here. Let me sculpt you into something, my secret society would want, And I always seemed to, not quite fit in, or didn't, pick up the secret handshake. And anyway, but once I experienced that, I said, whoa, baby. And it took me 20 years to get back to that point where I could be, appreciative of what I experienced. And because I had to learn a whole bunch of stuff and whittle down my ego, etc. So go watch that movie, Doctor Strange. And the other interesting about Doctor Strange, there are all the sitchins, these patterns that you see him going, woo, and they like spark, and those are called sitchins. And those are, shamanic tools, right? Like a spade or a hammer or a saw or whatever, but they're shamanic tools. And they are actually real. Now, they just kind of show them for, 3 seconds, but, you get it, the DVD, you can put it on pause, draw the picture, meditate on it, and you'll go someplace. The other very interesting things, he breaks into once he learns how to travel dimensionally, he kind of pops into the library and steals or borrows a number of books that he's not supposed to, like real, right? And he brings them back to the librarian, who has been giving him a hard time. And, he brings them back and plops these books on the librarian's table. The librarian, where'd you get those? I didn't give you those. You shouldn't have been able to read those, but he did. So that's how Doctor Strange got to be Doctor Strange, because he pushed himself, right? Like in a matter of weeks, he got to a place where he was, the number one adept of the ancient one, right? And, he was like Neo. He was the chosen one. But, and you guys out there, you are the chosen ones. But, hey, you have to choose, meaning you come to me, I'm your teacher, I'm your sensei. That's all the word means. Sensei means teacher. And I'm your griot. I tell you the stories, right? But it's what you do with them that counts, So, and it's a team sport here, right? Good. I never liked dropping names so much. I showed his picture. I said he was from Scotland, and, I gave you his pedigree, what he did, where he was at, what he, just the fact that he was the guy, one of the first guys, like in the 1920s, who said pyramids are everywhere on ley lines, and they are machines, and, and they're still there, But one of the reasons why our, gravitational field, the magnetic field of the Ouroboros of our planet is kind of getting frayed, is that the shamanic spirit of all of that system is like, again, we're in this very interesting transitional period from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. And, the next 18 months are very, like I said, when I started this, it's a window of opportunity. Same side of the coin is that window of opportunity is it can get slammed shut, and we can be in another 900 years of the dark ages, right? And that's why I kind of picked this platform, because nobody else seemed to be, I was roaming around talking to people, and yes, I could help individuals, but this seems to be, it's the social media platform. So come on, let's get to 1,000 subscribers in the next 2 weeks. Let's see how good it, if you really want this, it's like I said, every one of you, 262 of you, should be having salons at your home, or your friend who has the best Wi-Fi, and everyone goes there with their little device, their tablet, their laptop, and goes and doesn't go live. I mean, they can go live, but they should go other times when because you guys are all over the time frame. Where you gather and you watch the shows on Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. And that's when you might really get the realization that this isn't just happening when we're doing a live chat. This is happening in all of those that kind of, if you go look at those 600 and something shows, why did I put so many on? And I go look at other people's YouTube. They've been on there since 2008, and they have 4 shows up, and no comments. Come on, you guys need to comment. Go back and look at those shows and start commenting on all of them. We have to extend this platform out to all our relations, unless you want to live in shit for the next 900 years. If you want to experience a plague, and you're not going to escape it, gang. All these morons who think, oh, the end times are coming and I'm a born again Christian. Oh, I can treat everyone like shit and you'll all go to hell and I'm going to heaven. The 10,000 of us. Sorry, that's not going to happen. Just go back into shit, And yeah, you can fuck all the horses you want, but it's not going to be too much fun. That true self that you are will be so stuck down in, karma that the Dharma wheel is going to be pretty heavy. There won't be any grease or ball bearings, except up your butt. So, you got a choice here. My brother says, you make your choices, you really do. You really do. So you can keep going on about whatever you're going on about. Or you can be, team player. Can be that adept cadre. You can be there. What will make you happy is making others happy, not going on about what so-and-so said or blah, blah, blah. All that's an illusion. It's all, 5G chemtrails. Yeah. It's an illusion. The only thing that's real is love's co-creation. So you can either, get on the bus and go home to love's co-creation. And that means all our relationships, that means everybody in the whole universe, because this ain't just our planet. We're just a little microcosm of it, Anyway, let's see. There's still 5 of you. It's 48 minutes, so about an hour. I'm going to bail from this. Let's see. Yeah, of course I'm always dropping names. Well, Ireland, has been around before everything. So it's where one of the great kingdoms was. Why do you think it took the Romans forever to, and they didn't even freaking conquer them? That's, who are the bards but the Jedi, Yeah, of course, the only thing that is real is love's co-creation. Within the construct of that, everything that I tell you, I'm a griot. What does a griot do? Tell you a story. And what does the griot do? Tell you a story of the griot's experience. Now, if you're having the experience in the material world as a bag of water, well, it's coming from the sandbox of the Luciferian universe. What is the Luciferian universe but a total illusion of the materialist world? That's what we kind of, are boxed in. And why are we in a sandbox? To learn how to play nice with all the other kids, and that's what we're here for. And that's what your Sensei Al Bob's about, I'm your sensei, assist you to play nice with all the kids. Do, 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 do. You know, Aiden, the best person to go to get that information about what things look like before what we think is here, or what we think is his story, is Emily. Emily is really, go to my playlist and go to things, go take a look at the thing that you can access on my playlist. And Emily's up there, and go look at hers. Very, very, very good. And Mr. Crow House, very, very good. Both those guys really give you a lot of info that you can start digging around. Whereas people like, David Wilcox and that whole, distraction of UFOs and disclosure and Linda Moulton Howe, blah blah blah. I mean, those guys they try, or they think. I mean, that's why I left that sandbox back in the mid '80s. Is that it was just that, the only guy of that whole crew that I really like is David Icke, because I think, as Ink said, he's like a evangelist in the tent, right? And he started out before anyone talking about the real deal, back in the 90s. And I gave a speech at the UN in 1984. That's kind of when I said, this is boring. Because, I went, we had a lunch, and everyone, it was like in high school. I sat down at my table, that all the people who were up on the, the dais, they weren't there anymore. I sat there and I was all by myself. And this one gray-haired guy in a really nice suit came by and said, "Hey, that was a really great speech. I haven't heard anyone talk like that since Nikola Tesla, gave this thing." "Oh, really? Who are you?" "I'm George Christie." Sat down, we talked about everything. And yes, I'm dropping another name there, Mr. Aiden, So go find out who he is. Do your best. And if I drop a name, it's for you to find out, for you to dig around. Ooh, look at that. 52 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, so 1 hour, when we hit one and all zeros, this is so 7:30 tonight on Dreamy Dreamland, or the other one, whichever one I can get on easily. Today's Dreamy Dreamland. Anyway, I'm going to do a guided meditation into the bowels of the universe, of the unknown, of the paranormal and supernatural. And ground zero of that is Asheville, North Carolina. And what got me to leave Asheville, North Carolina was, so, by 96, they paid off their debt. There was a guy who was he was a huckster real estate guru, right? And not telling, he was like he was paid from someone to turn Roanoke to, turn it into the huckster jungle it is now, and super polluted. I mean, it was a polluted place when I was there, but it's like, woo-wee. So, anyway, I left because I, when my friend Otter had this amazing spiritual shamanic maze along the French Broad River, and it was a time traveling maze. And there was another guy, I forgot his name, but he he was like two-faced. He during the 50s, he was out there in Nevada when they tested nuclear weapons. He was a Marine, and they dug a ditch, and they were like 3 miles from ground zero, and they were down there, and the 543 and the thing didn't go off, and everyone's down in there, down there, and he gets up, and it blasted one side of his face, and one side of his face was mush, and the other was still looking good, and it turned his consciousness into that. So there were a handful of people in Asheville and they were all drawn to this place like a magnet. I guess so was I. Anyway, so there were pretty, the hidden hand was, look, the Biltmore Astor family, they were, gilded edged, tea bags. That's where that term. Anyway, and once that town started getting hipsterized and the rich were developing it and going crazy, they brought in a real, police chief who came from a big city and wanted to retire there. He didn't realize how weird the fucking place was. And then the mayor turned on to me, hey, Al knows where everything is and what it is and what's going on. And so we became best buddies. And one of the things that bothered him was how many abductions there were and how many, satanic murders, bodied kind of things, and things that were semi, paranormal, supernatural, UFO, kind of stuff that you'd see on the X-Files and what Linda Moulton Howe was talking about, right? It was like that was ground zero, and you didn't have to go out west. It was like ground zero right there, and there were lights around all the mountains. And anyway, so he got me poking around that because that's what I had been doing the 8 years I had been there, and I was doing that for him. And what better good buddy you could have than the chief of police? Get out of harm's way card, right? And all the different police, they all knew me. I went to all the meetings, blah, blah, blah. And what happened was and they would call in the FBI. They would call in the Justice Department. They would call in a lot of people. And those guys said, oh, this is nothing, just, a drug deal gone bad, And then the D is, oh, this is not, no. And so there was part of, it's like, Group 31 in Star Trek. There was this group that chief of police kind of belonged to. That's why he was there. It wasn't that he was his cover story. Oh, I'm kind of retiring from the chief of police of that big city, and this is kind of where I can still do it. And no, he was sent there for those guys. And anyway, long story short, they said, hey, we want you, you're doing this other gig for, doing demographic stuff for other companies. Well, we want you to go do the same thing. Look at what this is, follow it down, take it to ground, see where it goes. And so they gave me a nice little envelope every couple months when I met with the people who sent me on that journey. And that's what brought me to the Roanoke Valley, because there is the thing they call, no one, it's not on any, AAA guidebook, but from Lexington, Virginia to Asheville, North Carolina, down 81 to 26, it's called the Devil's Highway. And there's a ton of paranormal and supernatural things that go on. I mean, more than anywhere on the frickin' planet. And for a good 8 months, I traveled around and looked at it, right? And, I took it to ground to as far as I could. And then, I kind of said, oh, you should kind of, there was no central point per se. But the two major things were Lexington, Roanoke, and Asheville. And so Roanoke's the microcosm of the United States. So I could do my demographic thing for companies and just stay here and look at stuff and fool around. And that's why I got stuck here for 20 years and got funny hats. So, okay, we're almost to 1 hour. And at 1 hour, I am out of here. And I'll see you tonight at 7:30 at Dreamy Dreamland, Sensei Al Bob. And if I'm not there, I'm over at the other one, Alibaba Owl. So, okay. Remember, like, subscribe, bell. Let's get 1,000 subscribers on both friggin' channels to just blow the mind of the hidden hand and the powers that shouldn't be. I love you guys. See you tonight. Catch you later.